Hey guys, welcome back to moreRoslyn. I am coming to talk to you about intermittent fasting and my journey in this experiment and what I've done, what worked for me, some options that you can try for yourself, and just different ways to figure things out. So, I love intermittent fasting. It's amazing. It is fast healing, if you ask me, in my opinion, what I've been through. Um, it is the biggest thing about it for me because I have so much anxiety and things around food that a lot of times I have no control, it feels like. And this intermittent fasting gave me control. So the first intermittent fasting that I tried was from the Medical Medium's book. It was the 24-hour fast, and it was drink 16 ounces of water every hour. The first time I did it, I made it to lunch. That's as far as I could get. But as you know me, pretty determined. So later on, I did it again because I felt so good afterwards because my legs would feel heavy, and this made my legs feel really light and like I was able to walk and things were easier. I wasn't dragging. And so the next time I made it to supper. And a lot of this also has to do with, who do you run into? Are you having dinner somewhere? Are you going to be out with friends? Or do you have people that call you and want to go to lunch with you all the time? Is your husband or your spouse on board? There was lots of times that I did this or tried this and my husband didn't know, and it did not get done. But the third time I did it for that whole entire day. I did not have anything to eat. And it helped so much with anxiety around ordering food. It helped with the anxiety and the thought process in my head, what I was thinking about, what I wanted to do, what I didn't want to do. It helped me to calm down. It really, really gave me a gift that it's okay if I'm hungry, I'm not gonna die. I know in the medical medium community, they're always about eating and eating regularly, and I agree with that for your adrenals, but if you don't get your food in, you're not gonna die. You're gonna be okay. Um, Nothing bad is gonna happen to you. The other thing is about the adrenals. Um, what people don't realize is if you're worried about something, you're kicking up your adrenals. If you are putting too much negative energy or negative thoughts into things, you're kicking up your adrenals. If you're fussing about people, you're kicking up your adrenals. So for me personally, if I have a moment where, like for instance, I was at a party this weekend. I really didn't want what they had to eat. I was eating some of their fruit. That was great, but I noticed I was eating a lot of their fruit. So, and other people were eating fruit, so I kind of had to back off. So instead of worrying about the food part of it, just having the water and not worrying about eating so much, like I didn't worry if my adrenals kicked up. All the kids that were running around scaring the crap out of me because they're wild as a buck, which I was the same way, that kicked up my adrenals. So the adrenal part, I just help my adrenals, and I do a couple of supplements for my adrenal health. I graze as much as I can. The one thing, whether I'm fasting or not, that I do that helps my adrenals for me is I do strawberry lime water. So I take organic strawberries and blend them up and lime juice, and I put it in my water. So that's what I drink most of the day. Or I do ginger lemon water. You could always carry around honey or dates. So that's another thing that you can do. If you're worried about your adrenals, which I kind of got off track from fasting, but fat people are so worried about their adrenals causing problems when they fast that they won't try fasting. But then they'll fall off the wagon and sorry, my ponytail is itching the crap out of me. They'll fall off the wagon and they'll get so upset with themselves, their adrenals went up anyways. Or, excuse me, or that's what I would do. So, you know, I had to really pick how I was going to use my adrenaline and how many things would bother me. I had to get really realistic and a little laid back, not so amped up about, oh my God, I didn't do it right. Ugh, sorry. I have people that do that to me as well. And I'm like, who cares? I'm living and I'm healing. And this intermittent fasting helped me heal faster. It helped me heal better. It gave me mental clarity. It gave me things that the foods weren't giving me. So I just love it. I do this through the Mastering Diabetes program. I've looked at other people in there that do their fasting and how they do it, and I've conformed it to my way. And I'm going to explain to a couple other ways I've done it and then what I do now. And I asked Robbie Barbero about it as far as like the medical medium goes, and he thought it was completely fine. And I agree with him. And I watch things that he eats, and he has moments in his day where he might not can get his food in, but he also understands how important it is because he checks his glucose levels often, and he always kind of carries some dates or something with him, but he doesn't have like a huge smoothie for an adrenal snack or a whole bunch of romaine and dates and things. He'll have like maybe 2 dates and a piece of celery or something. It's not like these big food things. And that's what I noticed with the intermittent fasting is it helped me to get my food and meals into a better space, or the right size for me is what it felt like, because before the intermittent fasting I ate a lot of food and I always felt bloated and I always felt stuffed and uncomfortable, and I didn't even sleep that great because I had too much food on my belly. So I did the 24 hours intermittent fasting. I did that 3 or 4 times over the course of like 3 or 4 months. And then once I joined Mastering Diabetes, they do it every week. So I tried to do the 24-hour cleanse once a week. It wasn't the once a week that bothered me. It was the 24-hour cleanse was too hard for me. I never could get the right day where I didn't have something going on or something that would derail me. It just never, I couldn't get it to flow. So then I tried, what they call the 16-8, and I really do like it a lot. So I've modified it for me. The 16-8 is you don't have any food for 16 hours and then you eat in an 8-hour window. So what I did to start this out was I would stop eating at 8 o'clock at night, and I did not eat until 12 o'clock lunch the next day. After doing that for a few days, I really enjoyed it. However, towards 10, 11, and 12, I would start to get a headache, and it did not feel good. And I was like, okay, I can't do this. This is like really kicking up some stuff. And I would drink water. I would get my water in, but it didn't feel exactly comfortable. So what I do now is I don't eat after 8 o'clock. If I can get away with it, I won't eat after 6 or 7, because the emptier I am, and not empty like I'm hungry, just not having to digest, my belly wasn't full or any of that kind of stuff, the better I sleep and the better I feel in the mornings. And so what I do is I just don't eat late. I don't, like I said, because I work late, so sometimes I have to eat later, but I really, really get very focused on not eating after 8 o'clock. But after 8 o'clock, I will drink more water, so I get more hydration in. The other thing I do is when I get up in the morning, I have my celery juice. And usually after I have my celery juice, because it's so nutrient dense and it's so good for me, I'm not hungry. And I don't feel like eating, and usually sometimes I can be kind of bloated. So I will wait a couple of hours, and then I will have cucumber juice. Yet again, I'm not having a whole lot of food because I don't like feeling too full and bloated. My body likes juices and waters and watery things much more. And then when I get hungry, I eat. and then I cut it back off so I can digest. After I did the cucumber juice, like this morning, it's already 11 o'clock today, so my stomach has been hurting because I had some curry. My husband cooked me some curry things, and it tasted fabulous, like this curry jerk vegetables, and I'm not sure why I don't feel the greatest. So, since I don't feel the greatest, it makes my fasting a little bit longer. So I had celery juice this morning, like 32 ounces, which is a lot of celery juice. So that lasts me a little while. Then when I got to work about 8 o'clock or 8:30, because I had the celery juice at 6:30. So when I got to work at 8:30, I had coconut water because that's what I wanted. And so I drank that. And then I got done with my first client around 10. So then I had my cucumber juice. And it's now 11. So I'm going to go to lunch at 11:30 with a friend. I'm not interested in eating until then. I'm not hungry. I'm not full and bloated. And my stomach has kind of been upset. So I'm just letting it calm down. And that's how my fasting goes pretty much every day. Except for sometimes I will eat earlier when I get hungry or whatever if my stomach's not hurting me. So, and I have digestive things that are healing. So I just take my time and let my body rest. And I feed my body. And I run and I exercise and I do things and I get on my own rhythm, and this is my intuition. So that's how I do it. There's lots of people. There's even a fasting documentary. There's lots of different ways to fast. I personally like adding water to it because it helps flush things and it helps my lymphatic system. And like I said, I don't eat nowhere near as much food as I used to, which is great for my grocery bill. So I do intermittent fasting. I love it. I love the mental clarity and the mental strength that it gives me. Because when I go to restaurants, I don't get so much anxiety over ordering things. A lot of times I'll just order a salad and I'll ask the angel of discernment to disarm it, and I make sure it doesn't have like cheese and croutons on it or eggs. And yeah, I don't like eggs. And then I'll have some kind of like lemon or whatever for the dressing or whatever. Lemon juice or like squeezed lemons. Because I always have my food with me at work. So when I go out to eat, I can just have a salad. And before, when I would go out to eat, I'd have so much anxiety, I would order whatever I wanted. And then I would beat myself up for it later. And it was just this whole mind game. And the intermittent fasting gave me my life back. So it's amazing. So when I go out with people and I go and hang around people because I'm a social butterfly and I love my friends and I need this interaction, that I need to be able to order my food that I want too. So everywhere sells salads. Everywhere sells salads. And there is this sweet little perfect angel called the Angel of Disarmament that is in the medical medium books, and she helps me disarm the salad in case someone, in case maybe getting raw wasn't the best option, at least it's disarmed. Because there's not very many places that cook potatoes or steamed vegetables, but they all have salads. So that pretty much helps me out a lot, and if it wasn't for intermittent fasting, I wouldn't be able to do it. And I just love it. So it gives me more energy. And I'm going to do a video on this anyways. And let me tell you how much this has helped me heal. So a few months ago, I would just be too tired, too sluggish to go walk because I had too much food and my body was having to work too hard to digest things that I had no freaking energy. And I would get sluggish because my lymphatic system would be so clogged up. So a few months ago when I started this intermittent fasting, I also started walking with my dogs more and getting me going. And so I used to run before I got really sick. Like, I loved it. I did mud runs and I did 2 mud runs and I did a 5K. And I liked them, but I never could get my energy going. And so once I did this intermittent fasting and started walking and running more, walking and I felt better, I could actually run. And, I'm pretty much a low-fat, no-fat vegan, so I should be able to run more. And I ended up running so much that I met up with one of my friends, and because I know she did half marathons, and I was like, I just want to run and see what happens. And she meets with a bunch of women, and they all get together, and this guy, there's actually a lot of us, women and men, and we get together every Saturday morning, and we are training for a half marathon. I started working, which is 13.1 miles, by the way. I started running with them, let me see, 2 weekends ago. And the first weekend I did, and let me rephrase this, I started running on my own that same week, and the most I did was a mile, and it was split up. So I like did a half mile, and then I walked, and then did another half mile. So I went with them that Saturday morning, and we ran 6. We walked, yes, we walked, and we jogged, and we ran, and we did stuff, but I did like 80% to 90% of the whole thing a slow jog, which is a run for me. So that's how much this intermittent fasting has helped me healed. I can do what I want to do now. That is one of the pieces. I'm fixing to do another video on your mental like mindset and talk about that because that helped as well. So to do intermittent fasting and to do the medical medium protocols and to be able to go from sluggish, tired, waiting to heal, which just drove me freaking crazy. I was so tired of waiting. I am impatient. I ain't got time to wait to heal. I just want to do what I want to do and have fun. And I went from that mindset to running 6 miles, and last weekend we did over 7. And this weekend will be more than that. So, holy cow, I am amazed and in love because I love to run. So, y'all just try this experiment if you feel like you need to or want to, and see what happens for you. You never know. And just maybe do what I do and just don't eat too late. Let your body heal and digest and stuff so the liver can do its job when you're sleeping. And I've heard Anthony tell people that before they were eating too much and too late on his radio shows. So, I took that advice to heart and I play with it, and this is what works for me, and maybe it'll work for y'all. Who knows? Or you could try something like that. So I hope this helps. I love you guys, and I will talk with y'all soon. Bye.